Smoking my ADHD medication. Yo, what's up? It's someone that's no one, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report is coming from Pariah off Herowood, where they took Dextroamphetamine, and here's the full report details. Alright, so here we are taking a look at Dextroamphetamine. This is one half of Adderall, which it'll actually be prescribed as an alternative. Some patients may respond better to just this half. The other half is levoamphetamine, which we'll cover in another video. But this report is kind of obscure because it is a test to see if dextroamphetamine is smokable or not, which I'll just say now it is, but it may not necessarily be what you think. It's a strong substance and one we'll break down more in a future video. I'm sure you'll enjoy this, so without further ado, let's dive right into it. I've had my share of speed. Every kid today has in this epidemic mess a mixed amphetamine salts, aka Adderall, methylphenidate, aka Ritalin, and Concerta, and diet pills with the likes of phentermine brands like Fastin and Adipix taking a hold of even educated, private school families I've grown to loathe. If this was to be so, why not have my heyday with crank? Well, my education came a little late to tell the truth. My first speed experience came at the abnormally old age of 17, years after I tried phencyclidine, PCP, and even motherfucking heroin. Adderall took hold of me the first day I tried it, and now I have forever respected amphetamines in a whole new light. Now, here I sit, almost a year later, but well immersed in a new world of drug knowledge, having become the pseudo-moderator of 2 drug and lab-related forums on a good message board. True impact was made when I successfully managed to finally get prescribed something for my ADHD that had plagued my adolescence since teen became a suffix to my age. Of course, I worked up a tolerance to my prescription, Adderall, mixed amphetamine salts, DL, so I switched to Concerta, methylphenidate hydrochloride extended release capsules, to hopefully avoid a cross tolerance, which unfortunately did not happen. Next, it was on to dextrodin, dextroamphetamine sulfate sustained release capsules, which for some reason was being metabolized or digested strangely, which only left one more d-amph option, dextrostat tablets, dextroamphetamine sulfate tablets. Today's experiment. I decided to see if smoking the d-amph in dextrostat tablets after I filtered the binders out of it will provide sufficient effects similar to an oral dose, potentially stronger in theory as to preserve my d-amph supply by using smaller amounts. Time, start. Binder successfully removed through careful filtration, leaving 5 mg of dextroamphetamine sulfate behind. The powder is dried, ground with a mortar and pestle, and poured onto a flat surface and further chopped with a razor. Time, 5 minutes in. First approximate 2 mg, 2.1 mg, is smoked through a glass vaporizing pipe, tilt pipe, chillum, crack pipe, meth pipe, that has been fitted with a small mesh screen to prevent draw-through. The smoke is rather harsh, typical of a sulfate salt, but smells and tastes sweet, yet artificial, as if a burning plastic candle was nearby. Time, 7 minutes in. A cigarette and water break is taken, and I feel a high dissimilar to the normal speed high, yet closer to a marijuana or opium high. This is very euphoric, but I'm thinking too fast to enjoy it. My emotion-conscious mind doesn't seem to adjust right in synchronization with the part of my mind getting the more sub/unconscious body type high. Time, 11 minutes. The second load is packed, leaving some behind. It's reshot and set into one line, which is immediately insufflated by means of a half of a hollowed-out ballpoint pen. Time, 12 minutes in. The second load, though larger, produces less hits. The sulfate smoke is really getting to me, yet I have an urge to screw out this experiment by smoking a bowl, which I will not, because I want to keep my system uninhibited for this as much as possible. Time, 13 minutes. This is nothing like a crank high, nothing like a speed high, nothing like anything speedy. I'd rather eat a ton of Ephedrine than see my dextroamphetamine go to waste like this again. I know this high won't last long. Time, 20 minutes in. The high is very similar to marijuana with opium for some reason, but that shouldn't be so. It's strange, but I'm being active with my hands. Yet I lack vigilance. This is a common problem I'm noticing with all dosing forms of taking d-amph. The high is nice, but a bit actually incapacitating. Surprisingly, it's mellowing me out a bit mentally, but my typing skills are wide awake and on cue. Perhaps a bit before cue if that were possible. Time 40 minutes in. Music sounds better, with more depth, but doesn't give me the drive that it would if I were to be on a different amphetamine analog, or isomer/isomer combo of point amph other than point dextro. Damn this mental shit. I'm begging to believe this is a ploy from the pharmaceutical developers who market brands of dextroamphetamine to make it more desirable and then not actually as worthwhile as a DL combination of levo and dextro. Time 1 hour 20 minutes to 1 hour 40 minutes. Visual distortion shifting to sleepy eyes. The crash of smoking was not worth the high, at least not at this dose. Smoking 5 milligrams was a large dose to literally smoke in terms of damage to my lungs, time taken to hit the pipe, and physical size of the powder, even after the binders were removed and it was shot up. I would imagine that a large dose would make me tweak on d-amph, though it is harder for me to feel anything on just one isomer than a combo of both dextro and levo. And I don't know about plain levo, because I never had the pleasure to try it yet. Sad face. Such as 15 milligrams and upward will be more than enough when smoked. Then again, that might be completely disgusting, so I think the highest dose I would ever try smoking a d-amphetamine in one sitting will be 10 milligrams and definitely no more. That I will have to try tomorrow night because this crash is terrible, and I should probably have a nice bowl of Northern Lights now and a snack, and then off to bed I am.